Breathing in, my belly rises. Breathing out, my belly falls. Keep that posture. Don't twitch. Don't move. Don't let your friend disturb you. Don't let anybody in the room disturb you. You are your own master. And now is the time for us to be with ourselves, with our breath, just simply enjoying the sound of the bell.
Dear most respected Thai, dear brothers, sisters, dear noble Sangha, dear friends, it is definitely a privilege to sit here, to see all of you. I share many times, but I share again, that it's wonderful to have the teens here with us. It's allow us to be creative, innovative, and we get to do this once a year, and it is our privilege, and also it's our aspiration. It's a great investment for us. So this is what we call a Q&A, but it's a little bit more a chance for you to have a nice conversation with us. Conversation, the kind of conversations that you might not be able to have with other people. Because it's the kind of conversation we want to have is something that's deep inside your heart. Last night we have a very deep, we call it deep listening, deep sharings. And I noticed being a teen, but also, I think more obvious as being a teen, also for adults like me, it's like we are in this battlefield. And last night sharing, sometime in this battlefield, some people lose their physical body. Some people lose their mental body. And some people even lose their spiritual body. When you're losing your spiritual body, it's like you're losing the aspiration of wanting to live fully, wanting to be alive, wanting to grow and be nourished by what is existing outside of you and inside of you. So right now, in an hour and 15 minutes, we'll have a chance to have conversation about what is really meaningful to you, okay? So there is this chair that you can come up and you can sit here. And if there's many of you coming up, the rest of you can sit there and then we'll take turns to sit here. So it's a little bit about having a conversation, but sometimes in the Zen circle, the monastery circle, we call it a Zen battle. So you'll be sitting here asking the questions, and then we'll battle your question, okay? And this battle is our insights, our experiences that we've gone through in our life, but also many other lives that had gone through before us. For example, our teachers. Our teacher has already passed away, but he had transmit his life to us. So then we are going to try to transmit what he has transmit to us the best way that we can. And whatever we transmit to you is a directions. It's a direction that we are moving forward, and we'll hopefully, if it work out for you, you can also take it and move forward with it. But it's a directions, and it's up to you to how to use it, how to benefit your life with that directions, okay? So if you're ready, you can already come up. And it could be, any questions that is deeply inside of you. Sometimes we might think that, oh, this question is silly, I should not be asking it. But it's not true. If it's important to you, then it's important to you. And it's up to us how we share our response, our direction toward that questions. If you are shy, I know some of you could be also very shy, you're welcome to write the question down and then give it to one of us or give it to somebody to give it to us if you're even more shy. So that's also another way of asking questions. But today we want to prioritize for the friends that are coming up here to ask the question directly. And if we have time, we'll take some questions that's written. But if not, those questions will be given to the Dharma teachers, and maybe that person can share about it in tomorrow's Dharma talk. Okay, let's show a hand if you're ready to sit up here. All right, if you are raising your hand, you can come up and then have a seat. Okay. Okay, settle in. Okay, get solid because it could be something interesting. So stay solid and grounded. Okay, make sure that your 2 feet are on the ground. If you're on a cushion, make sure that you're, solid. Don't let your emotion knock you out of the cushion. Stay firm on your seat. Before we ask any questions, we are going to listen to one sound of the bell, just to prepare ourselves, okay? Just keeping yourself grounded and making sure that the question that we want to ask is really the question that we want to ask. The question that you want to ask before you came up here might be a question. You could change your question when you're right there. So be prepared and be ready with the question that you want to ask. And we are going to totally live in the moment, and we are sharing in the moment. Our direction could be whatever it is right now, and when we get out of this hall, it can be different. So if we say something differently outside the hall, that's a different story. But we're going to live in the present moment. We're going to ask a question that is deeply inside our heart right now, and then we are going to try to share what is deeply inside our heart at this moment. Okay. Do you want to know who we are? Brother Namsak is like, this is a joke, huh? This is a joke. He want to be famous. He want you to know who he is. So that is Brother Namsak, the guitarist that was playing guitar when we were singing. This is Sister Nghiem, Sister Tranquility. Sister Tranquility, okay? She has been blooming. This is why we want her here, because she has been blooming. So we hope that you will get to enjoy her blooming today, right now, in an hour and a half. Over there is Brother Phap Yong. I don't think I need to introduce him. You can forget about him. I think less introduction for him is even better. Okay, I'm Sister Phu Nghiem. I guess that's it. And then, please, before you ask a question, please share your name so the whole Sangha can get to know you too.
My name is Jaden, and the burning question that I had in my mind was, what is your favorite food to eat here? Because I notice there's a lot of good food here, and I know that as a Buddhist practitioner, food is meant as nourishment for your body, but that bit of humanity in you that like really wants like favorite, like what is your favorite food?
There you go. Yeah.
So, dear respected Thai, dear brothers and sisters, and dear friends, I thought this is an easy question in this session, so I take this opportunity to practice to answer your question. And may I have your name, please? Chị Đức. Yes, dear Chị Đức, thank you for your question. And as you see, like every day we have tofu, right? There is a main dish in here. So in our monastery, our favorite food is tofu. We can make tofu with any kind of food. Like we can bake it, we can fry it, and we make a sturdy, salty dish. So it's a healthy and it's made from soya bean. And yes, it's a kind of favorite food in our monastery. It's okay? Yes, thank you. And what's your favorite food in here?
For me, this is a hard question because I like eating too much. You can tell by my face. People say I look like the happy Buddha, but I think the tofu yesterday that we had with tomatoes and onions was really good on the rice. I really like that a lot. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Steve. I'm 15. I had just two questions. So number one, like who makes the songs here? I mean, you got like lists of them. Oh, number two is so like I wanted to kind of prepare for myself before going into like 11th grade. What would your best advice be when I'm like stressed out and to relieve myself from like stress?
Dear brothers and sisters, dear friends, this is Steve. So I would like to answer your first question. Who made the songs in Plum Village? So actually there are many people who have written create the songs that we are singing in the monasteries. Some are from our teacher, Zen Master Thích Nhất Hạnh. Some are from the brothers and sisters. Some are from our lay Dharma teachers, and even from young friends like you. Some of you have written very beautiful songs, and then we sing it. It's in order to nourish our body and mind. So if you would like to write down the song for everyone, especially for teen camps, feel free to do so. And your second question, what should I do when I stress out? So I was ordained when I was 13. I just finished grade 7. So I didn't experience the stress that you have when you like going to the 11th grade. But I think that the stress for students in any time, in any moment is kind of the same, even though it might different in details, but overview is kind of the same. And it's also the same with adults, even if they're not in school anymore, but there's stress from the work, from the relationships. There's few things that you should remember, and you should keep in mind that stress or any kind of strong emotions, they are just emotions. It's just a part of you. We are ourselves. We create from many aspects. We been created from this body, the form. We have feelings. We have our thinking, our perceptions. We have our emotions. And so emotion is just one part of you. So don't exaggerate it, even though it's hurt, even though it's strong. But it will come, it will stay for a while, and it will go. It's just an emotion. So it's fine to stress out. It's fine. But whether you could stand up from the stress is what matters. You have been practicing sitting meditation, walking meditation, eating in silence, singing songs perhaps, and do mindful services. So those things are a tool for you in order to help you to deal with strong emotions, with stress, with depressions, with anger. And imagine you are collecting. There's a pipe, and then there's a bucket underneath, and you're collecting every drop of water, and it should be continuously every day. Or like when you boil an egg, you cannot turn on and off the fire from time to time. The egg cannot be boiled. The fire should be continuously. And practicing mindfulness is also the same. You should try to do it every day in order to gain inner strength. It's like you studying. You should study every day in order to remember deeply what you have learned. So you may like to sit in silence for about 5 to 10 minutes a day at any moment you want. You may like to do walking meditation, walk in mindfulness, aware of your feet, aware of your posture, aware of the sensations between your feet and the ground. And those things will be anchors for you when you have strong emotions. They will keep you back to the ground, not being lifted up by the tornado, by the storms of emotions. Wish you success.
Hi, my name is Ethan. I'm 16, and I have 3 questions, if that's okay. Yeah. So my first question is, how do you like stay like mentally stable and be able to do things efficiently and completely when you have like a lot of things like bearing down on you, like school, relationships, extracurriculars, and just all that stuff. And so my second question is, when someone is constantly like disrespecting you and just like not being a good person to you, like how do you get them off of you and gain their respect without using violence or telling a teacher? And my third question is, could I borrow a pen or a pencil to write this down? Thank you.
Ethan, right? Okay. I'm glad you read it down. I might forget the questions. So how do we stay grounded, solid when there's so many things happening in our life? Yeah. And then the other one is how do we stay respectful to ourselves when others are not respectful to us? Right?
It was how do you deal with them and earn their respect without having to use violence?
And then also how to gain respect from that person or the group of people. These are a big one. I'm still doing this too. I feel this. I'm picking up my phone because Brother Phap he's being lazy over there. So, but then also partly, and I support him being lazy. Also, I think it's also something I've been reflecting a whole lot and also work at it recently. So this might be something that we can do together. With the respect part, I think this is with anything is really, it needs to start with us. How am I respecting myself? How do I live my life in a way that I am respecting myself? For example, if somebody is yelling at me, that is a way of not respecting. Is they're talking, but they're really like sending a lot of strong emotion toward me. In that way, that person doesn't really care a lot about me. Therefore, the reaction is like that, yelling with violence, verbal violence, and also emotionally violence. So what do I do? Like, how do I respect myself so that I don't receive that in return? So first, I need to learn how to do that. So lately, what I've been doing is, and this related to everything that we had learned already, is if I ever encounter that situation, I really need to pause. It's like, okay, what is going on here? What is going on here? Why is that person yelling at me when I just share something very simple and just normal? Why is that person yelling at me? There has to be a pause there. I myself have to stop. I have to stop and question, what is going on? And then really and this is literally, hey, this is what I really do. I take a step back. Take a step back from that person. If I'm sitting here like with you, I literally take a step back and can kind of see the picture a step further. And really and then as I'm stepping back, this is where the breathing coming in. If I am a solid practitioner, I would know to come back to my breathing. And I would just step back and just like, okay, let's just take an in breath. And breathe out. Because what happened is when I do that, I come back to who I am. I come back, and when I'm coming back to who I am respecting myself. I recognize what is happening to me, inside of me, and then I take good care of it. I noticing, okay, the other person is violent toward me, and I'm not gonna let that allow me to be even more violent toward myself with what they are putting on me. So stepping back is stopping that. And then when a person see you do that, they will respect you. They will respect you because this is not what I want in my life. And they'll see that. When I pause, step back, take my in-breath and out-breath, it only takes, I think, about less than a minute. That whole process is going to take less than a minute. But you know, that less than a minute in that situation is a whole big deal to that person and to you. They're going to see it. They're going to see, oh, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. And they're going to see that, and they're like, okay, this is the person that I don't want to mess with. Because this person knows what he or she is doing. Okay, so, but to get to there, it takes practice like Brother Namsak is talking about. It takes continuous practice when we are happy, when we're solid, when we're free, so that when that strong emotion come up, the only thing we're doing is pause, step back, and breathe. And the other person is say, oh, okay, this person is not somebody that I want to mess around. And so that's a start. That is definitely a start. And this is something that we all can train ourselves to do. For that one, I'm going to pause there. And then you come back next year, and then we'll continue on. What you can do more. Because if you can get there, you are already like, oh my gosh. if you get there, you come back next year and you sit here, and then I'll ask the question. Okay? So we're going to do that. Wow, I forgot the first questions.
I can repeat it.
Okay, go ahead. Just repeat to me.
The first question was, how do you stay sane and live efficiently when it's like there's a lot of things just piling up on you, like extracurriculars, relationships, and schoolwork, and while you're already in a pretty bad situation, I think you're not doing very good.
Okay. All right. When there's too much in our life, I think this is a little bit prioritizing our life, because not only teen lives, but also adult lives, there are many things happening in our lives, and we need to learn how to prioritize it. And we need to know what is important to us. Like, I need to know what's important to me. I've been prioritizing my life too. I have to sort out what is it that is important to me. And you know what I realized? Me being spacious, happy, and free, that is the most important thing to me right now. So it's about what is most important in our life, and we're going to work toward it. So because I value spaciousness deep inside of me, I value being kind to other people, being respectful to other people. I value transmitting what is important to me to other people. Like, for example, you coming here. It's very important to me to transmit what I think is the most important thing in the world to you. So that's also very important. So once I know what is important to me, that's what I'm going to do with my life. That's how I am going to live my life. And that's how I'm going to gather information from the outside of me, resources. I'm going to talk to friends that support me with that. I'm going to go online and do research just for that, And all the stuff that's coming toward me is for that reasons. So this is something, you guys are like such in great positions because you come here when you are so young. And now you are developing, your body and your mind is developing like crazy. So this is like such a great chance for you. It's a wonderful opportunity for you to sit down and really think about what is it that you want in your life. Because many of us do not get that chance when we were a teen. So you have this chance. So this is your opportunity to really go home and find that peaceful corner and really think about what is it that I want in my life? What is it that made me happy? What is it that I have such good friends? What is it? And what is it that other people have such good friends? Because we all want that. What is it that people have such wonderful conversation toward each others? I'm sure all of us want those things. Great relationship in our life. So what is it? What is it that we want? So this is something we can start, and then it will just direct you, our wishes and our want deeply inside our heart, and we need to keep this burning. The fire that Brother Namsak is talking, we practice mindfulness to build that fire, like the fire that keeps us alive, blooming every day. So keep that alive, so it's always blooming, always lively inside of us, so we can move forward in a way that we are happy ourselves, but also supporting the rest of the community that is around us. What I share about the first question? This is also something you can try with the first question number 1, what I share about number 2. This is also applied to question number 1, is to really we can take a chance to step back, because the society you know, you live in the society. It's a bit different from the monastery. It's very different. And we grew up in that society. So now that you're here in the monastery, it's a chance for you to step back and see, oh, how can the society and the monastery merge in a way that there is peace? So this is your opportunity. So we can all, see whether if we want to do something like that. How the society that you're in for your past 13 year, 14 year, 15 year, 16 year, 17 year is going to merge with what you learn right here for the last 5 days, last 4 days, going to be 5 days. Okay, how can we merge that two worlds together where it's peace and stillness? Thank you. Those are wonderful questions.
Okay, I'm not lazy anymore. Okay, you guys afraid? You come here. Are you stressed out? How many are stressed out here? Yeah. Okay. You want more stress? Okay. We're gonna play a game. And it's gonna make you more stress. Okay. It's too much calmness around here. Okay. So whose birthday is in January? Raise your hand. Okay, whose birthday is in February? Raise it high so I can see. I'm trying to get an estimate here. February, January, February, March. Wow, not a lot of March. March, April. March, April, May. May. Raise it high, okay? May, June. July, August. Oh, it's good. August, right? What's after August? June, July, August, September. September, October. Wow, a lot of October. Okay. 9 months ago, what is that? Okay, October. What's up? October, November. November? November, December. All right, it's pretty even. Okay, those whose birthday is in January, February, March, April, May, June, the first 6 months, okay, be ready, okay? This is gonna stress you out, okay? And you're gonna do this mindfully and be aware how nervous is making you feel, right? And this is where your last 3 or 4 days you've been practicing to be yourself, to be who you are. Wherever you go, you have arrived. Wherever you are is your home. All those from June to January, you are going to grab your stuff and you're going to do musical cushion. You're going to move to a different cushion. Scary, man. You're not going to be near your friends anymore. Okay, ready? All right, hold on. You're going to do it mindfully. Aware of everything you do, okay? So don't, be aware when you pick up your water bottle. Be aware when you hear my sister invite the small bell, and we do it silently, okay? And watch your mind, okay, as you step to find a new cushion, your new nest, right? And see how you, I don't want to sit near them. Oh, I don't want to sit near them. Oh, it's like, I hope they don't come near me, all right? Okay, watch your mind, okay? Everyone follow your breathing. All right, June to January, okay? So everyone, those whose birthday is June, January, grab your sting and be ready. And when my sister invite the bell, you walk mindfully, aware your steps, and pick a new musical cushion, okay? Ready? And no talking, okay? Be aware of your body as it stands up. Be aware as it moves. Be aware as it sits down. Okay, remember, we're all kind of watching, see how you're practicing, see if you're stressed out, okay? No talking. Be aware what's happening in your mind. There you go. No talking? Yeah, those monastics who want to participate, you can do too. Wonderful. Okay, you don't have to look at them. Stay where you are. Others still searching for their partner here. Wonderful. Beautiful. Recognize how you feel. Now you're not next to your friend anymore. Oh, where's that favorite friend I just met? Are you looking for them? Okay, you could look, okay? Everyone look at your friend and say, I'm far from you now. Okay? Wonderful. Now, this is the stress part. Those who did not move are now going to move. But watch how you want to gravitate towards something, okay? Especially the one who just left you. All right? And try to like sit somewhere else and see if you're comfortable sitting anywhere. All right? So this is a real practical observation of your stress. And following your breathing and feeling nervous, feeling like maybe they don't like me, or maybe they, all that stuff. Be aware of that, okay? So those who have not moved, with the sound of the bell, will stand up and do everything in silence. And this is a real exercise in meditation, okay? Watch your step, watch your body, feel the emotion, the nervousness, the tingling, the kind of tightness of anything, or do you feel relaxed? Do you feel at ease no matter where you go and where you sit? No judgment, okay? So with the next sound, those who have not changed cushion or seat, please, your turn. Pay attention to your mind, okay, and your steps. Okay, no talking. Just watch yourself. Don't follow your... oh, you guys are hooking up so quick. All right. Watch your mind. Don't look around. Just be at home with whatever you chose. You don't need to have anyone's opinion. They're... you want to switch? I have to do what I say too, right? Yes. Đổi. Mình bày người ta làm, mình phải làm đúng chưa? No, you and me too. Thank you, everyone. And let's do a little breathing, okay? We'll listen one sound of the bell and feel how that feels in you and your mind, your feelings. Do you feel comfortable where you're at? Do you feel a little attached to this friend that has followed you? Do you feel like you're attached to them, that you're not who you are without them? Just recognize it, no judgment. It's cool to have a good friend to follow them and to follow here. It's so nice to have a good friend, and that's okay. It's also to be our own friend is okay as well. And you don't have to be attached to anybody as well. So this is an observation. Let's follow the bell and then recognize that. How do I feel in my body, in my true home?
Hello. My name is Tanto, but I go by Troi because that's like easier to pronounce. I'm 15. I'm gonna give some context for my question. So, In life, there are many things that you can't control. And as we're growing up, especially as teenagers and young adults, that becomes more obvious as things are changing at a rapid pace. So I know people are like, you should focus on yourself. But that's kind of hard. So my question is, how do I cope with the things in life that I can't control, especially if they're in my personal relationships and I face them every day and I can't run away from them?
You mean your family, friends, or boyfriends? All the above.
Dear respected teacher, dear beautiful family, and I grew up in Los Angeles, and I also had a lot of stress as a young person. I was bullied, I was beat up, and so I had to find a way to survive all the social pressure as well as physical pressure. So I grew up in a poor neighborhood, and sometimes I felt ashamed of my family, and a lot of tension, and also to succeed in school, and so it was a lot of pressure from my peers, trying to belong to them, trying to be tough too. Because they shipped us, like a lot of the minority, into rich neighborhood to kind of like do a social experiment and try and so we had a lot of shame brought onto us, like, because they knew we were poor from the poor neighborhood. So a lot of anger. I was quite angry. I was like a chip on my shoulder. Although I love to study and stuff, but in recess and lunch, there's always like a pecking order around the lawn. They like who, where, and what, and who's looking at what. And I got into a lot of fight. So there's a lot of pressure as a young person, and this is something we have to acknowledge that. As teenager, who has ever had a good teenage growing up years? Maybe some, probably rare. Yeah, some of us. Yes, it's a very rare species to go through adolescent smoothly, because it's going through. Our brain is also changing. So that own personal pressure in myself was already enough to feel like I want to belong. And then the pressure from my parents and my school, my teachers, and then all my friends. So there's a lot on me. This is before internet. They didn't have internet yet. Can you believe that? They didn't even have cell phones yet. We had, we were at the beginning of like these little boxes. They call them pagers. Ever pagers? You have to beep, beep, and then you run and put a dime in the public phone. They used to have public phones. And the dial, you have to like turn around. I grew up in that era, okay? So there was not a lot of that social pressure on the internet yet. So this is something I would just want to acknowledge. Actually can't skip this part. Yeah. And unfortunately now it's a little bit more on the new generation. I don't know what the new name is, the millennial, or even you guys are not the millennial. You guys are something. Do you guys have a name yet? Gen Z. You're Gen Z. Okay, Gen Z. What does Z stand for? Right. But does it mean anything? Like I'm Gen X. I'm right. But Gen X is known for like not knowing their direction. Like you can put anything in there, which is cool actually. I love the X variable. But what does Z stand for? Z. Yeah, Zen. Oh, okay. I know it's going through the alphabet, but usually they associate a kind of for me it's the information age. You guys have social media, and there's a lot of I used to just have the campus stress around the camp. Now you got campus stress and social media stress. Trying to look like them, everybody's happy picture. So for me, stress is, I don't want to say it's kind of part of like adolescent growing up. It was part of my life, and I grew out of it. Not grew out of it. I learned to manage it. So I think with as I grew older, I really focused a lot on what I love to do, which was art and math and architecture. So I had teachers that really pointed and directed my my energy. They put me in a math science magnet school, and I began to love math and art. And I had a ceramics teacher. So it's learning, directing your what do you love to do, and you put all your mind into it. You see, and the other stuff, your parents and stuff, those things are they become they're there, but you know what you love to do. At least for me, that's how I dealt with it. And then through meditation, as I grew into a young adult, I met my teacher, and then I learned meditation. And meditation for me was the first time that I learned to actually train to sit still, like you did here. So I used to sit in my my parents' bang thờ, the room where they put their altar, right? 3-level, earth, ancestor, and the Buddha, and that room is the most quiet. And I noticed my parents never yell and talk loudly in that room. It's like a sacred room. So I used to go sit in there. So that was my refuge. And I learned to actually recognize my anger. I learned to follow my breathing and learn how to calm myself through that. I learned belly breathing, right? When you breathe, it goes up, in, and breathe out, it goes down. So whenever you feel stress, you breathe in, you feel your belly rise. Everyone put your palm on your belly, right? And this should be, some people do it reverse, but when you breathe in, it should rise, okay? In, and then out, feel your belly go down. In, out, deflate, okay? And I did this whenever anger got up. And when I did meditation and I hear my dad's voice, I promised the incense that I can't stand up until the incense is finished. That was my first time learning meditation. I didn't read anything about meditation. No one, I learned it from the retreat, but I didn't get instruction. But that's how I started to learn to manage my my anger. And it was the first time I saw my anger towards my dad. Before you're just angry and you're in the anger emotion, but because I had promised the incense that I cannot move until the incense is finished. So I sat there with my anger, why is he yelling at my grandma, and so on. And then after a while, I saw that anger dissipate. Is incredible. That was the moment for me. I was like, oh my God, I was so happy. Normally, I wanted to do is go out and slam the door. That's how I used to communicate with my dad, to let him know that I'm not happy with him. I'm like in the house, the one who slams the door, and everyone in the house knows it. Just kind of my way of expressing myself, of my anger. And this is the first time. So anger is a kind of stress. Feeling nervous, feeling sad, feeling like not good enough. These are all stress. They cause stress hormone. So these are two ways that I learned from the beginning. One is directing your energy to something that you love to. You have to find whatever you love to do and focus on it, whether it's math, writing, reading. I put a lot of energy in doing artwork, like charcoal. And I used to get paid for it, doing portraits. I would spend like to 2 o'clock in the morning to do a portrait of someone from a photograph. This is before internet or Photoshop. And so I put a lot of energy in that, my love for art. So one, what you love to do, and two, learning how to calm your emotion, like what my brother Namsak has shared. So these are two tools that you can look into and to apply. But to know that stress is just kind of like, you look at how your parents are dealing with it. So got to be a new way of doing it. And that's what you've hopefully learned here and continue to come here to learn. There is a method to do it. So please continue your research and your practice so that you're not a young person anymore. Adolescent, now you are a young adult. And then so if you don't have models around them, find models for you. The people who know how to handle themselves. So good luck. And you say thú, thanh thú, yeah. Thanh phải không? Thanh thú, yeah. Tú, thanh tú, yeah, beautiful. Thank you, thanh tú.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tu, and I am 17 years old. And I've been here since I was like 8, so this is like my second home to me. And yeah, I've been in teen camp for like a very long time, like almost 4 years now. And I always had this question that I always wanted to ask the monastic. And it was, how do you guys, when you guys first become monastic, how do you guys discipline yourself through the mindfulness training?
Are you talking about the 5 mindfulness training or just in general? In general. Thực tập chánh niệm á, làm sao mà mình nuôi dưỡng cái discipline là giống như là kiểu là gì?
Dear Du, yeah. Thank you for your question. In order to maintain the mindfulness in our daily life, we follow the schedule. It means we have a sangha, and as you see, our schedule from the morning until at night is a schedule for us to maintain, to follow, in order to maintain our mindfulness. And in each schedule, they have like the collective energy of the sangha is also support us maintaining mindfulness. And also, we also, in each person, have to create and cultivate mindfulness by our in-breath and out-breath, and by like we practice to come back to ourselves, to be present for ourselves, and that kind of mindfulness that we create for ourselves. And because we come together and we cultivate that, and then it affect us and affect our community. That's that thing we create, mindfulness, and all the method like walking meditation, mindful service or listen to the Dharma talk also kind of maintain meditation, mindfulness. Yes, yes, we have a laziness mind, and we sometimes we don't wait to get up from our bed to join the sitting meditation, and then we want to continue our sleep because we want to sleep, but we ask ourselves, we have to go get up and ready for the meditation hall. So or sometimes, but we have like aspiration to do that. If we just come here to enjoy the peaceful or just enjoy playing around and with our friends, it's like we don't have to make any determined, any commitment to ourselves. So in monastery, we also have like policy for us to follow, and in order to win our laziness mind, we kind of make the commitment to ourselves, and for those things will help us to be stronger. Otherwise, we let our laziness mind control us. So that thing also make us feel lazy. And then if you skip one schedule, and then it's nobody remind you or nobody so that you can keep continue. So be to be is a mindful observer for yourself is the best way to do to win your laziness mind.
Though I think we've known each other for a long time since you've been here. Do you remember when I reminded you one time during Dharma talk? What did I say to you? And what did you do? Do you remember that moment? You were sitting right over here. No, 3 years, 2 years ago. Yeah. Do you remember that? Yeah. What happened? But do you remember the moment? I reminded you. What happened? Yeah. You, yeah. Well, anyway, I've seen a lot of progress in you. So all the brothers and sisters notice that. You coming here, even though you come once a year, just for 5 days, but you're really maturing beautifully. And then that I see, because you used to laugh uncontrollably, and you would like rile up the whole half of the room, and you have that talent. That you have that talent of actually like working a crowd, they call it, right? And you're very good at that. But I think in the years that you come here, look at the way you ask the question, the way you are now. I hardly even hear your voice around the retreat. Normally, when he comes to the retreat, we know Tu is in the house. Yeah? And that's great too. It's nice to be who you are. But I see you are growing. Yeah, you're growing into something very, very beautiful. So you can have both. One is explosive, fun, but also, and I see that very clearly, in you. So you are doing, whatever you're doing is really good. So please continue to come and learn more as you grow and meet new challenges, okay? So I just want to recognize that you're progressing beautifully as a young person. Yeah. Thank you, Tu.
My name my name is Pablo, and I'm 15 years old, and I've been going to Deer Park since like 2020. I went to the online retreat. That was the first time I was here. But my question is just kind of a more general question, like, how do you become more confident in yourself and with talking to other people? Like, how do you feel comfortable with like just being more social, or if you like want to say something but end up not saying it? Like, how do you like take those opportunities and just be confident and just talk more, I guess?
May I know your name again? Yeah, I couldn't hear it. Pablo. How to become more confident and comfortable in the in a crowd, uh, interacting. Um, so as I've shared before, you need to have inner strength in you. You need to have kung fu inside of you. The kung fu that you see on the screen, like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Shaolin monks, those things are just the outer form. The real things that those people success as who they are, as you see on the screen, on the movies, are their inner strength. They develop the inner strength, even though it's just for fighting, it's just for martial arts, but it has the same characteristics with what makes you more confidence, with what make you feel more comfortable when interacting with peoples. It's like when you want to give something to someone, you should have that thing first. Like if you want to give a beggar money, you should have money in your pocket, right? So creating and maintaining the inner strength is the first thing that you have to do. Once you have that kind of inner strength, you know who you are, you know what you are capable of, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, and you're confident. You know what you are saying. And it needs a lot of training, it needs a lot of experiences. Like right now, I'm sitting here sharing with you. I'm very nervous because I'm the youngest one in both physical age as well as spiritual age. And somehow I feel my heart beats a bit faster. But throughout the years that I've been practicing, discipline myself, practicing and experiencing, interacting with the brothers and sisters, learning from their sharings, as well as interacting with young friends like you come to a retreat, and as well as adults. Those experiences just come into me and it's create my inner strength, and so that I can sit here sharing with you confidently and comfortably. So first thing in order to have confidence is to recognize your strength, your weaknesses, know what you can do, know what you can't do. Second thing, from the knowing of who you are, you start to develop yourself. You have a goal that you want to become this kind of person. You want to develop this kind of characteristic. You want to have this skill, you want to have that skill. You have a goal. And then you list out, you planned yourself. What should I do? What should I not do in order for me to become that person, in order for me to achieve that goal? And just try it. Just do it. If you just list out everything and you just sit there looking at the plant, it will not go anywhere. It's just there, and you just be the person that you were yesterday. So make a step forward. It needs a lot of courage at the first step, at the first few steps. But once you are comfortable, you're getting used to the pace, and then it will drive you forward very fast. Believe in yourself, believe in what you can do, as well as knowing what you cannot do, or at the moment yet, so that you will gain confidence. You believe in yourself. You have a respect with yourself, so that when you talk to other people, you talk to your friends, you talk to your teachers, you talk to your siblings, your parents, and whoever you meet on the street, you have confidence. Thank you.
How many of you have a similar question to his? Raise your hand. Did you hear his question? Raise your hand higher. His question is, how do I feel confident and interact with people? So this is something be aware of, Paul. There are many also like that. So just say hi, and it can help the other person too. Okay, so just continue to, push yourself.
Hello? Okay, it works. My name is Lowell, and I'm 13, and I have 2 questions. The first one is, what is your favorite meditation out of the vast number? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The second one is, who or what was your motivation to become a monastic? Who or what was your motivation to become a monastic?
Namsak, what's your favorite? One word. Favorite meditation?
Walking.
Sitting.
Hammock. Lying on a hammock.
Eating. Yeah.
And the second question is, who motivated you to become monastic?
Motivate me. Who or what? You want to know what? Okay.
What was your motivation?
I think a lot of people want to know this too, so you're asking for a lot of people. Who? I don't think there was a person, but there were. I came to Deer Park ever since it started. It was just like 2000, and I have a blood sisters that ordained like in God so long ago, 1994. so long ago. Yeah. And she ordained this tradition. So I came to the monastery to visit her, and I think mainly just to visit her. I didn't care much about meditations or whatever is happening in the monastery. But then it get to me. I guess it get to me in a way I didn't even know it. And so not until I think is for me is more about what. I finished college. I studied design, interior design, and I started working for like a year. And I grew up in a family that were quite, I guess, I don't know, boring for a lot of people to see it that way, but very similar to monastery life. So, so, so we don't yell a lot. We care a lot about each other's. And then every weekend, my aunts and uncle, niece and nephew would come together and just hang out, and that's how I grew up with. Then when I start working, it's a different environment. I start working in an interior design firm, and as an interior designer, you need to meet with a lot of clients. And usually we meet at restaurants. And then so we eat fancy food, we drink fancy alcohol. And that was the first time I drank so much alcohol. And it changed. The environment allowed me to see different things in life. Allow me to see like, oh, there is this part in life where you work, you socialize with people, you drink, you go to a restaurant, and then you go to concert, and you go to festivals and things like that. And after 1 year, something happened to me. After 1 year, I didn't think a lot about it, but it shook my bodies, and then it made me have to reflect. I had to sit down and reflect, and then I told my boss, I'm taking a break after 1 year. And then everyone was like, she just worked here for 1 year. So anyway, I went to Green Mountain Dhamma Centers. There was another monastery in Vermont. And I want to go there because I want to see the snow in the winter. I stayed there for like a month. And then I saw what happened to me. I see that this was not the life that I want to live. I saw that, this is not it. So then after that, I came home, and then I came to Deer Park. And I stayed here for like 2 years just to see if this is the life I want to continue. So I stayed here for like 2 years, and I realized, wow, this is something I've been wanting to do, but wasn't sure because I didn't stay long enough. So I wasn't sure this is the life that I want to continue. And so I stayed for 2 years, and it is exactly what I want to do. I want to live a peaceful life. I remember that's what I wanted to do. And then I want to live in an environment that is a lot of natures. I walk out and I see vast natures. So that was important to me. And then I also, that 2 years, I follow the Sangha, the monastics, go to activity, go to schedule. And something happened to me. I see that I grew, and my relationship among myself, with my parents, with my mom, that was my mom at that time, that we didn't have like great communications. It's because I think we didn't have great communication because as a Vietnamese family, we don't communicate verbally so much. So that was the problem. And then so I learned that, that's what I needed to do. So I learned to do that, and that changed. So I noticed my practice changed me. So that was also a great motivation for me to wanting to continue with my life in that way. And and then I realized, my whole life I wanted to do that. And then I found it. So I'm doing it. And now I'm continuing to doing it. Yeah.
Testing. Hello. My name is Corey Nguyen. 16 years old. This is my third year at the monastery, and honestly, it's been a great 3 years. I have two questions. First one being that I have like this person who's been very close to me for a good chunk of my life. However, lately things they have changed a lot significantly, and not in a good way. I've tried to guide them into being a better person, being themselves again, but it's not working, and also I don't want to force them to change. And I wanted to ask how, like, since you guys have basically given up the old life to live this life in the monastery, how would you let go of someone who has been very dear to you in your life? By the way, he's Christian, so I can't make him a Buddhist. He's a Christian, so I can't change his religion.
Yeah, in our life, you're still very young, and when I was young, I also had many friends that I would never imagine being, away from them. And then when I was switched to a different junior high school, I met new friends, and then when I went to a new high school, I didn't go to the high school that my friends went. So I reflect back, and I was very lucky because a lot of my friends actually ended up in jail. If I went to that high school, I would probably be in jail as well because we did a lot of questionable activities. And so thanks to my teacher, she saw, and I was really suffering a lot because I didn't have any new friends at this other school that they bused us to. And so in a way, in reflection now that, I've got some age, it's like actually that period of, meeting people have close heart with you and then separating them, it's just the nature of life. You're always going to find close friends, and then sometimes even my college friends who are architecture students, and when I became a monk, they actually took different pathways, and they actually, criticized my choice and said I was taking the easy route, and they were doing the real action, and you guys, of course, you could be peaceful in the mountain, And so there's a lot of pain. I had to, and these are my best friends from high school, we followed the same career. But now that I look back, I see, that's just part of life. That it's like, look at the season. The season comes and the season goes. Every year there's beautiful new flowers. You don't get attached to those flowers, right? And when they fall and wilter, next season will come. So you cherish your friends, but that there are some friends that when they start to veer off the path, and we call that karma, like the different actions and the different ways that they live and choices that they make, it's you know you have your own karma, the actions and the choices you make, and they kind of sometimes lose affinity to each other, and that's like with everyone, not just with you. And it's nice to have some. I have some of my high school friends and some of my architectural friends. They come and visit me here, and it's also nice to have friends who. But you know, their choice of raising a family, having children, very different from me. And so in our pathway, even with my siblings, you know, my two brothers, you know, they're busy with their career. They choose different, have children, and they're so busy taking care of their children, and they're, you know, that's not where I'm at, you know. And so for even with my blood family, but every time I visit them, I'm fully with them, and my love for them does not diminish. So in a way, everything that you experience and all your friends, they go with you. They kind of help you become who you are. Some of them are challenging, but they help you like deal with difficulty, right? Some of my friends were actually what back then were very, very competitive. They became my best friend after. You see, so it's very, don't be too sure like things, you know, and especially separation. That's very part of a life. And to know that you send them good energy, and you're not afraid of veering off, because you take part of them with you and they take a part of you with them. So like the song, no coming, no going, no after, no before. So this is very true. And your experience is more and more as right now, it's very important, your relationship, your friend, your peer, people you like, people you don't like. And some of you have left friends in junior high and elementary, and there is pain involved in that. And you will go through that in high school. As you go to college, you go to another state. And for you to learn that you take part of them with you, meaning their memory, your experience, you never lose that. But their choices, their influence, other friends that influence them, is no longer your choice. And you've grown out of that. And so it's like anything that's living. You grow from that, so you don't kind of like shun it off. And you don't try to hold it back and force it, right? And so this is what Buddhist meditation can help us to deal with those two things, to push away and to grab too tightly. So this is how naturally things have evolved, right? So that's a way to deal with relationship and separation, and especially with friends that no longer you feel there's something not right about it. It just, you know, they're forcing you to be something that you're not anymore. You've grown out of it. You have to be firm. And you have to, you know, they might suffer and they might call you a betrayal or whatever, but you got to stick to know and trust your intuition and your feeling and your heart, because you don't want to go that way. And just because they are going doesn't mean you have to go. And that requires a lot of courage. And that's in a way loving them as well. Because, you know, if you try to be like them, you're not really authentic. And eventually you'll get angry at them. You see, so it is all part of the process. And your second question was what?
My second question was that, well, currently, like the way I am with my friends, I'm like the therapist, basically, the one who they can support and rely on.
Yeah.
And listen, yeah. And lately, I've been trying to work on myself, like because I need to take care of myself. But part of me is also kind of worried about like if I'm working on myself, they may need me while I'm doing that. So I'm struggling trying to kind of balance the two out, and how to push myself to like actually take care of myself before I can take care of them.
Yeah, that's very beautiful. You're a very good friend that you're aware of that. And so you use it manage, right? Don't overdo it. A good listener is a listener who knows that they cannot listen anymore. And you tell your friend, look, I'm sorry, buddy. You know, right now I'm just too tired and I'm just full of it. I have too much on my plate and I don't want to pretend like I'm listening to you. And if they're truly your friend, they would know that. So you have to let yourself have boundaries, and so you don't pretend and force yourself. You know, and that's a good friend, actually, to tell honestly that, you know, I can't listen to you right now because I got too much stuff, man. Right? And that is a good friend. And if he's a really good, or they are really a good friend with you, they will understand. If they start judging you, then it's like, what kind of friend is that? That don't know each other's limit. So to take care of yourself is very important. And then when you take care of yourself, don't feel guilty. Because when you are full and you're well and you have that capacity to listen, they are going to benefit. So when you take care of yourself, you're actually taking care of them. And that is very key, right? When you take care of yourself, you're taking care of your parents, you're taking care of your family, your relatives, all your friends. So please don't underestimate that. A lot of us, we force ourselves to do things that we don't have that capacity. And so I see that you truly have that good friendship. So please continue to take care of yourself. And we lack good friends like that actually have a spiritual dimension. And it seems like you've been learning coming here to know how to take care of yourself, to be a good listener, and to give good direction. It might be you might have to give some strong opinion to them, and be okay to get the feedback. Because a good friend, sometimes you have to tell them the truth. Because they do, that's not good for you, man. And then they might not like it, but that's a real good friend. In 20 years, they will thank you. And so please be a true good friend to them. And we need more of that in the world rather than just superficial, kind of just having fun. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you, dear teens. Let's have flower for everyone for being so brave to come sit up here. And thank you for sitting here. We do have Dhamma sharing at 3:30. And right now, I think many of us are ready for eating meditation. So for our friends that are sitting here, we're so sorry that we cannot continue with this. But you can, I think there's a few things that you can do. You can write your questions, give it to us, and then we'll give it to the speaker that is speaking tomorrow. And then maybe he'll talk about it or she will talk about it in the Dhamma talk. Another thing we can do is we can share our question in our Dhamma sharing groups. And if you feel comfortable with that, I think it's the best location to do that with your question. Another option you can do is you can meet us personally. Just grab us, grab the brother Phap. He's always available. And we are more than happy to talk to you. Not in front of the whole Sangha, but we are happy to talk to you anytime that you're still here. Just come toward us, especially the four of us. We are more than happy to talk with you and enjoy your presence. And now we are, please sit still. We are going to, let's enjoy our space, our posture, our body, okay? And enjoy the air that is happening in the meditation hall and also inside of us. We'll listen to 3 sound the bell and end what we have done together.